Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It's your boy Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. So this is really, really interesting news, right? And so a lot of people, I've said in previous videos that, my mantra is going to be, especially going forward, is old money. Old money doesn't want us to win, right? Old money doesn't want us to win, right? And old money controls the banks, right? No matter how you want to look at it, those are the ones who control the bank. We all know about the banks in that system. If you don't, certainly get your hands on The Unfair Advantage by Robert Kiyosaki. Certainly get your hands on, more importantly, The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's about the banking system. So you can learn the truth about what's really going on in the banking system. Learn some important things like the dollar has lost 96% of its value since 1913, right? You want to do some homework, get educated on what's really going on, right? So I've said before, old money doesn't want us to win because what cryptocurrency is doing, what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is doing, it is allowing the average Joe and Jane to participate in the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man, right? And so that has primarily been held by just a few, right? Just a few. And now cryptocurrency gives us a chance to win, right? And so, but this is very interesting news. And I hope you guys are paying attention to it. You definitely want to do your homework, get to bitcoinist.com and do your due diligence for sure to learn more about what is really going on. So this says the chairman of the CFTC, which is commodities future something, might just have brought the Bitcoin crash to an end, right? So you look at the market now. When I looked at the market this morning, it was 60%, 60% green. That was maybe 3 or 4 hours ago. Now this news comes out and look, it's all green. It's all green. I think it might have been one red in the top. It's all green, right, guys? There's one red there in the top 100, right? And this statement, and it's actually the hearing. I mean, the hearing. Everybody knows about the hearing today. We've known about the hearing for a while now that it was coming down, and in the end, the overwhelming deciding factor is that it's cryptocurrency in a decentralized nature. And there's very little that can be done about it. Now that you add in the fact that the blockchain technology behind cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is going to change the world. It's going to change how we do business. It's going to change the world. And so this quote unquote regulation is about the bad guys. It's about the bad guys, not the good guys. So let me read it to you again. The chairman of the CFTC might just have brought the Bitcoin crash to an end. You can see on coinmarketcap.com all the green, right? I hope you had a chance to buy when Bitcoin, we did, when Bitcoin was, 75% below its high. I mean, it pulled back that much, 75%. We bought some. So the CFTC chairman just told the Senate Banking Committee he wants to respect the new generation in his approach to blockchain and crypto regulation. On January 6th, the chairman of the Commodities Future Trading Commission, the chairman, Christopher Giancarlo, sat in front of the Senate Banking Committee, and presented testimony on cryptocurrency and blockchain regulation. This is actually testimony that was published in written form yesterday, and that's available here if you want to read the written thing, and I may pull it up and have it for later for another video. But anyone that wants to take a look, but the real coverage is hitting press today, and in turn, the real impact that this hearing and testimony is going to have on the cryptocurrency markets is likely to present itself during the late session on Tuesday. We're approaching that. You can watch the full hearing session below, and I'm definitely going to do that. The actual session begins at 18:35. Okay, good to know. A potential turnaround catalyst. First up, it's worth noting that the markets and indeed the financial world are watching Giancarlo, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, closely to try and gain insight into how U.S. policymakers are set to approach this side of the cryptocurrency space. For anyone that's familiar with the more traditional financial and economic policy making world, this event is akin to a Yellen speech in the U.S. or a Draghi speech in Europe. Traders watch. Traders watch. Never forget about the CBOE, the Chicago Board of Exchanges. Never forget about the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They're watching. Trust me, guys, when I say they did not come to the market because they expected it to be, because they expected themselves to be regulated out of business, right? They came to the cryptocurrency market to make money, and there's money to be made. And when you throw in the fact that this technology, like I said, this blockchain technology is going to change the world, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. If anything is going to happen, the bad guys are going to pack up and leave, because there's going to be regulations like know your customer. Okay, there's going to be quote unquote regulations like these new ICOs that come to the market will have to prove themselves to be a real company, a viable company. Those things are going to come to fruition. Know your customer is going to weed out a good majority, if not all, of the bad guys. And we know that there are bad guys in the cryptocurrency space. We know that, just like in a space like network marketing that's over 130 something years old, bad guys came to the market because the business model worked, right? And they found a way to manipulate that. Bad guys are going to come into this space and try to manipulate it and take it, and try to either take people's money or to launder money or any of that kind of stuff. That's obvious. And I said in a video earlier that I get excited about the challenges in a space, because that means there's room for it to grow. If there's no challenges, there's no room to grow. If there's no room to grow, then there's no money to be made. So anyway, traders watch these events and trade their interpretation of what's being said. As such, Giancarlo's comments are seen as positive. It could be an inflection point for the crypto markets, and I just showed you CoinMarketCap. In fact, it is, and could finally bring about a bottom to the recent crash. Now we knew that. Now I said I said 75 to 7,000. Actually went below I think it went below 6,000, but it's recovering. And I do expect Bitcoin, I'm not a financial guy, but I do expect it to be a record high for 2018 that is going to shock the world. I literally believe 6 figures for one Bitcoin will happen in 2018, but that's just my personal belief. A few things stand out. Well, in a nutshell, let me read this first. It says, so what happened? Well, in a nutshell, the outcome is extremely positive for the sector. A few things stand out. First, that the CFTC intends to take the same approach that regulatory bodies took to the internet in its early days. And I quote, do no harm was unquestionably the right approach to the development of the internet. Guys, if you can remember back, if you're old enough to remember back of the internet was the anti-Christ when it came out. I kid you not. It was like the Antichrist. No one's going to turn on that. What is this? And all of this stuff, because people didn't know. They were uncomfortable with change. Similarly, I believe that do no harm is the right overarching approach for distributed ledger technology. That's how we win, guys, in the cryptocurrency space, because we have the technology behind us. That's how we win. That's exactly how we win. And we get to participate in the same arena that the big boys participate in. That's what's exciting. This ICOs, though it's volatile and it's risky, and there's different things, it allows us to participate in ICOs, which are initial coin offerings, the same as IPOs. And you already know that the vast majority of us cannot participate in IPOs. So regarding cryptocurrencies specifically, the chairman went on to say, virtual currencies, however, likely require more attentive regulatory oversight in key areas like know your customer, like proving your ICO company to be a viable company, especially to the extent that retail investors are attracted to this space. The comment is worth noting, but it's not a point to dwell on. After all, the CFTC does not have regulatory jurisdiction over markets or platforms conducting cash or spot transactions in virtual currency or over participants on those platforms. For such virtual currency spot markets, CFTC only has enforcement jurisdiction to investigate and, as appropriate, conduct civil enforcement action against fraud and manipulation, which is what we want them to do. So even if the CFTC did not want to regulate the space, there's not an awful lot it can do in the spot markets. Apparently, that's what they are deeming cryptocurrency. This isn't the case with derivative markets such as futures, for example. And, the institutions are trying to do some future stuff. But as far as the major exchanges are concerned, the Bitfinances of the world, there's very little the CFTC can do to stymie the growth. And here's one of the most important statements as we see it from the entire presentation. We owe it to this new generation, this is a quote from the chairman, we owe it to this new generation to respect their interest in this new technology with a thoughtful regulatory approach. Love it, guys. From a market perspective, this is incredibly bullish. It suggests the regulatory opinion as of now is one that intends to avoid heavy-handedness, right? Like we saw in China, heavy-handedness, not a good thing for China. And in turn, should pave the way for growth, albeit controlled long-term. And we need a certain measure to weed out the bad guys. If you're in this space with good intentions, you don't have to worry. But if you're in the space of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and ledger technology as a bad guy, you gotta worry. I love it. So I just wanted to shoot this quick video for you guys. I did a video earlier this week about, the market being all in the red, and you guys got to understand that is listen, when institutional money gets in, these guys are professionals. They know how to manipulate the market in their own legal way, right? So they can find a quick way of doing it legally, but they know that the majority of people in this space are not professionals. So what they want you to do is play your weak hands and fold your quote unquote weak hands so that they can get in and buy, they can get in and buy this Bitcoin at 75, 65, and 75% on pullback, right, from its all-time high. So I hope you guys held on. I hope you held on. We did. In fact, we bought even more Bitcoin. But I just wanted to shoot this quick video for you guys. This is awesome news. This is amazing news. I think it speaks volume for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin going forward, which means it speaks volume for you and I, the average Jane or Joe, who has an opportunity to participate in the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. And we get a chance to participate in that arena that was exclusively, primarily held to the old money. I call it old money, the ultra generational rich. Not anymore. We get to participate. So we decided personally to take advantage of that and participate in this transfer, the greatest transfer in the history of mankind. So listen, guys, if you like the video, I appreciate you definitely checking in. Definitely smash the like button. We're new to the YouTube channel. We primarily did our thing in Facebook fan page. But if you like what you heard, I definitely appreciate your support by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the notification bell so you can know when we will bring some more good content to you, guys. So listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. And we will talk to you guys soon. See ya.